Today we're here to define what is barbecue. First off, we're here to talk about food. Some people may call their grill or pit or smoker a barbecue, but this is about the food. The question is, what qualifies as barbecue? What doesn't? Now, if you go to Merriam Webster's and look at the definition for barbecue, it's going to start with the verb. And then when you get to the noun, it will say a large animal, such as a steer, roasted whole or split over an open fire or a fire in a pit. Historically, hundreds of years ago, and until recently, and still in some places, this was a good definition for the food that was barbecue. It's generally whole animals slaughtered and cooked for gatherings of people. Nowadays, most barbecue is not whole animals, though many people still do fish and poultry this way. Several cuts of meat have become favorites among barbecue practitioners, including pork shoulder, pork ribs, and beef brisket. So, if Merriam Webster's definition isn't a particularly good one anymore, what is? Going to have a difficult time coming up with that definition, though, partly because barbecue means different things to so many people. In Eastern Carolina, it means whole hogs in a pig cooker with a vinegar based sauce. In Central Texas, it means brisket in an offset smoker with only a salt and pepper rub. So the definition must be general enough to encompass all of these things. On the other hand, many people who are serious about barbecue wouldn't consider hot dogs cooked over a charcoal fire to be barbecue. If you use the most general definition, though, anything cooked with real fire, the hot dogs would qualify. And many Americans who aren't serious about barbecue might have no problem giving hot dogs this distinction. Serious practitioners, though, and people who know and have tasted the difference, would never call hot dogs barbecue. So, what is the definition for authentic barbecue? It is both a food in which smoke from a real wood fire is a main ingredient rather than a preservative, and also a food which is eaten hot after being cooked. These are the criteria. First question to ask when considering whether something is authentic barbecue is whether you can taste smoke flavor. If you can't, it's not authentic barbecue. And this is why hot dogs generally can't be considered barbecue. The casing blocks smoke penetration. Even if they are scored with a knife, they cook so quickly that almost no smoke flavor can be detected. There are a few foods that can possibly go either way. Ground beef burgers, for example, can be smoked so that they have smoked flavor, but most people don't cook their burgers that way. The same can be said for steaks. First question also acts as a qualifier on a spectrum of authenticity. By that I mean that the most authentic barbecue makes smoke flavor the star of the dish, even though it can be complemented by other aspects of cooking, like seasoning or juiciness. Then, after that, there are several foods with significant smoke flavor that are not barbecue. They are generally eaten cold or at room temperature, and for several of them, their lineage comes from smoke being used as a preservative. These foods include jerky and smoked meats like smoked ham and smoked salmon. You could, of course, smoke a ham or a salmon as barbecue and eat it hot directly after cooking it. But after you let it cool down and define it by its preservation rather than its cooking, it is no longer barbecue. Anyone who cold smokes cheese isn't making barbecue either. This isn't to take away from those foods, only to say that they're not barbecue. This is also why the low and slow method of cooking most easily will make you authentic barbecue. It makes certain tough meats into tender and juicy food that melts in your mouth. But, and the whole time it's doing that, It must also be adding smoke flavor. And that is the difference between the pot roast in your crock pot and the brisket in your smoker. Barbecue is what it is, and it's a beautiful thing, and we should appreciate it for that.